And we're live.
Yes, we're live.
Hi,
Feeling.
Jessica.
Hi. I'm here. I'm here. I'm here.
All right. For anyone watching or replay of this, I'm Jorge, the editor of Surviving Reelfoot. And this is the exit interview for the first episode of the season. And we have here
Womp.
our first boot,
Yes.
Jessica.
First off, hi. My camera does this weird thing where it like zooms in on somebody and then like zooms out.
Yeah, I
So
noticed. I was
don't
like,
be
what is
alarmed.
that? Is it a
It's
robot?
I don't know. It's a weird thing my camera does. I don't know why.
But yeah, thank you for joining me. Um,
Yes.
I guess if they say if you're not first, then it's like you might have like it doesn't even matter, right? What
Doesn't
do
even
you think
matter.
about that?
Doesn't even matter. Does not even matter. No.
Wait, so how are you? I mean, it's been a long time
It's
since the
it's
season actually took
it's been a
place.
hot minute.
So,
Yeah. I'm good. Doing good. Doing good.
um, okay, so I guess I just want to start off by kind of going back and have you watched the episode?
I watched it briefly when I played season 6. They made us watch it beforehand. Um, I didn't want I didn't want to watch it, but they made us. So um, it was good. I mean, not like I guess watching it was good, but like it just brought back so many like PTSD memories. So yeah, it was good. It was good.
Yeah, and wait, I guess let's bring back the PTSD and let's talk
Yeah,
about those memories again.
yeah. God, it was just like
So
it was just like having to, and it was weird. It was weird because like in season 6, we'll fast forward a couple 2 years. Basically, we came back and played with some of the past players. So I was watching it with the people that voted me out, and that was the weirdest thing. It was just like, and it was watching their reactions, watching it. That was like that's what made like put me back in like 2016, like oh, I'm about to go play a game with you guys again. I was like, this is not going to happen how it happened the last time. So that
were you
was,
worried that you could be the first one again?
yes, that was a big fear of mine. And I had plenty of people reassure me that that's not going to happen. But you never know. I had people like Stan telling me that. People, who else? Parker told me it would never happen. But it was like, you never know. You just never know. And so, yeah, I just didn't want that to happen again.
Okay, so let's go back to just the episode in general. So I mean, the episode, of course, revolved around you a lot,
Mm-hmm.
especially in the beginning,
Mm-hmm.
because you were part of our season's official twist.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You were marked for elimination right away.
Yeah. That was
So
rough.
you basically had a giant target on your back
Yeah.
starting hour one of
Right.
the game.
Yeah. It was awful.
How did that feel?
Um, it didn't feel great. But if you go back and watch the episode, I was one vote away from being safe, and so it was like, had we known what it would have been for, I think I would have been fine. But we didn't know what it was for, and that's why they were like, well, if it's something physical that we have to do against the other tribe, then let's just pick Jessica. Or if it's like somebody who, I don't know if it was people were thinking if it was someone you had to vote out, let's just vote out Jessica. So I don't like, so getting those 5 or 6 votes, whatever I got, it was hard. And like watching it was, I was like, if Tania even gets this, I'm gonna be so mad. But it was like I didn't know who was gonna get it. And so when it was her, so I was here and then Parker was behind me, and I didn't, in the episode I didn't see it because I don't know if like there was a camera angle on it or whatever, but Tania swears up and down that Parker was behind me, like pointing to me. And so I don't know if like that was actually true or not, or if it was just something that she made up to like cover her own ass. Um, so she gave me the mark because I didn't speak to her. I mean, that's kind of
Yeah,
what.
I mean, let's talk about a little behind the scenes. So
Yeah. So most of
in the
my exit,
episode,
I think, wasn't recorded, and
yes,
that's what
yes.
sucks.
Yeah, so
So
maybe if you want to tell like people like what happens a little bit before the game starts,
sure.
because there's a little thing
Yeah.
called Day Zero that
Yeah, there's
isn't
a
really
little
featured
thing
on
called
the
day
episode.
zero that sucks. So, day zero is a day where everyone gets together. You come to the host house or wherever the location is, and it's a day where you just talk and get to know each other and blah blah blah. And so, this was my first ever live game. This is the first like that I've ever played with people that love Survivor as much as I do. So I was ready to go. Like game started for me right then and there, just like in the real Survivor show, like when they Ponderosa you like away from everyone. The game starts right then. It doesn't start when you get on the island. It doesn't start, after Jeff says gives your buffs and stuff. It starts the day zero essentially. Well, for me it did anyway. And so I think I got caught talking to people about like game stuff when nobody else was really doing that. And it was my own demise. And I slept I slept in a car with Julian, Brad, and Brett. And I think Michael was there, and that was my demise. It was those three boys who I thought that I could trust a little bit. Um, so it was
Yeah,
definitely
so
that day
let's talk
zero.
about that a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, part of the episode was shared between you and Brad.
Yeah.
So like what you called him Malcolm,
Yes,
and
because he grew his hair out to be like Malcolm, and I think that's super cool. Yeah, we cut all of his hair off. What the heck, Brad? Um, and so I don't know. I just connected with him right away, even though he was one of the last people to show up. I just kind of bonded with him. I don't know why. Um, and so I mean, there was a little flirting going on, whatever. Um, but it was more of I needed somebody and I was hoping he would also need somebody, but apparently he was with the bros and that's fine, whatever. Um, but yeah, it was part of my demise. So you're
wait,
muted.
so something that wasn't shown. So you also mentioned Julian. So I didn't really feature that um, relationship in the episode, but
Yeah.
tell us a little bit more about that because if you saw in Tribal Council, you were about to give it to Julian, and then you gave your mark to Brad. So like,
Right.
what was going on with Julian?
Julian has since gotten better, but when I met him, to be honest, I don't even know how old he is now. So I don't know how old he would have been in 2016. I think he was like 20 something. But to me, he just came off as a bro. And those are the kind of people I don't get along with. I mean, not necessarily not get along with, but they just rub me the wrong way. And so, like, when I first met Julian, he comes up right away. And this is probably the stupidest thing, but he came up and we were with a group of people. And I said, when he gets here, let's just ignore him, and probably just joking. When he comes up, I said, when he comes up, don't shake his hand when he comes up. So the first thing he says to me is, I know who you are. And I said, how do you know who I am? He said, you play online games. You play Michael O'Rear's online game. I know who you are and I know how you play. And I'm like, great. And I was like, I literally just started online games like less than 6 months prior. So I'm like, how does somebody know me already? I was like, I only knew one. I think I only knew one person going into that cast, and so the rest was a total blind. I didn't know anybody else, and so um, I think that's where me and Julian got off on a rocky foot. And like the whole time, I could just tell that he wasn't with me, and like he wasn't. He was never going to vote with me, so he was going to vote against me. So I think it was not getting that relationship started off on the right foot that kind of turned me sideways. So.
And so someone else you didn't start off on the right foot, of course,
Girl?
Tania.
Girl?
So how was that interacting with her after she had marked you and she's safe? So it's not like you can, throw her under the bus because they can't figure it out.
And it's funny because I love Tania now. She's a great woman. Shout out to Tania if you're watching. It was just really hard going into that game being a female as it is, let alone having this target on your back. And so and if you watch in some of the episodes, it's like, or in the first episode when I'm like cutting the wood, she's like sitting back in the hammock, like just chilling, like, hi, I'm safe, you're not. I'm just like, and that's just what really irks me. It was just that it almost felt like she knew she had power and she could use that to her advantage. And so, because I don't know if guaranteed if I was safe, she would have gone home first, but it obviously wouldn't have been me. But after, and I knew I wasn't going to give her the mark when I left because that's what everyone expected me to do, and I didn't want to do what everyone wanted me to do. So now watching season 6, when we watched that together, that was funny because we were watching season 6, and I don't know what part, or we were watching the episode, and I don't know what part we were watching, but I think it was the part where she's like, I don't like Jessica, in her interview, in her confessional, and she's like, and I still don't, and I'm just like, I'm literally sitting right next to you. Like, excuse you? And everyone around me just kind of like looked at her, like looked at me, like, you realize she's sitting right there, right? And I'm like, it's on. And so in season 6, all I wanted to do was beat Tania. That's literally all I wanted to do. I don't know if whoever watched Facebook Live, but that happened. So that was happy. But after the season, Tania and I like hashed it out, and so we're good. Shout out to Tania. We're good. So yeah, that was probably the funniest part of watching that episode, was her comments about me getting voted out. So
wait, so you marked Brad. So
right.
You talked about how you liked him at first. So like what ultimate decision to mark him over anyone else?
Sure. So at the beginning, I thought I had Ryan, Brad, Brett, Julian, and there's one more guy, but I can't remember. I thought I had at least those 4. And so before Tribal Council, Julian, Ryan, and Brett all came up to me and said, I know I'm stabbing you in the back. If you need to give me the mark, I understand. All 3 of those guys before Tribal Council came up to me and said that. Like, I understand if you throw it on me because I betrayed you. Brad not once did that. He didn't come up to me and said, I take blame, whatever. And like right before I left, I knew I was going home, so there wasn't anything I could say to like persuade anybody. So I went up to Brad and I said, I just want to talk to you one last time, in the game. And I was like, can I just talk to you? And he looks at Brett and he goes, I don't know, can I? Like, he was asking Brett for permission to talk to me. I said, bitch, I'm already going home. You don't need to ask. On what more can I give you or you give me? Nothing. So it's like, it was just having him have to ask permission for something. I'm just like, come on. So yeah.
Oh wow, okay. Yeah, I knew he didn't talk to you, or he didn't as direct with you as the others.
Yeah. And so that was kind of like a stab in the back, more from anyone else. Like, if anyone else would have done that, it would have been okay. But it was like, because it was from him, and he was supposed to be like one of my closer allies, that kind of like hurt. So yeah.
Who did you feel was your closest ally, Brad, then, or?
I mean, of the guys, yeah, probably. And then I felt closest to Jordan for the women. So, and so Jordan let me know that it was gonna be me, and there was nothing that she could really do. I'm like, that, and it was. I think, had I not done what I did on day 0, and like just kept quiet like everyone else, I don't know if it would have helped me more. Like, I don't know if I still would have been first voted out, but I think it would have put less of a target on my back, if that makes any sense. So.
So going back to Jordan, and I know there was like this kind of talk of a girls' alliance that kind of really, I didn't put it in the episode because it didn't really like, build up to anything. But that was like a major thing. The girls came in at a disadvantage. There's like 4 girls on each side. 7 guys.
Right.
Did you feel like it was almost unfair? Like how did you feel about that? Not in terms of there being girls or guys, but the fact that like the guys could just easily gang up on the girls.
Yeah.
Right. And it happened at least to you.
Yeah. And fair or not fair, they're they're going to do it either way. So I mean, I don't, even if there would have been an even number, I don't think I would have done like an all girls thing, because it never works. And so I know Tania came up and she's like, why don't we start an all girls alliance? And we're like, you can't start an all girls alliance with 4 people. I mean, you can, but what's it going to do? So, yeah.
So, I mean, throughout these seasons, and you've been a really huge part of the series there, season 3. So, like, what would you say to girls that like are looking at the series, but they're not thinking, like, oh, like what would you say to them to get them to play? Like, what is it about the series that?
If I were to speak to the women out there, it's showing men that we can do it. I mean, it's coming from the first voted out as a woman. But if you watch my season 6, I come back with some serious vengeance. So it's just showing that we can do it, and we don't need like men to show us we can do it. It's just like wanting to go out and proving to yourself that you can have a good time, and just, I don't know how to explain it. I would just go out and do it. You don't need someone to explain to you why you should do it. I guess just go do it for you and no one else. So,
yeah. So let's talk about that a little more. So not just women, but to everyone. I mean, we're casting for seasons.
Yes, we are casting.
So yeah, what is it about Reelfoot that you think people like should apply and people should go out and play?
I think you should apply because Reelfoot is awesome. 2, I think Reelfoot gives you the experience like no other live game can. It's now 8 days long, and when I played it was 7, and I thought that was rough enough. But the 8-day gives you more. It has day 0, but you're in the camp setting, so you get those 2 days to meet people, and not like how I was a day and then you go to sleep and then you wake up and then people still remember, oh, she was the girl. But you have those times to bond with people, and it's the experience that you're going to get is like no other. The camp life is real. The challenges are real. The bonds you make with people are so genuine and lifelong lasting that there's nothing like it out there. So, should apply.
And where can people go to apply?
You can go to www.survivingreelfoot.com. We are casting for 2 seasons. One is a pair season, and the second, and that's in June. And the second one is a single season that's in July. So you got to do the application online, and then a video. So if you're going to apply for the pair season, you got to make a video with either you and your partner and mold this together into one video, or just do it with your partner. And then a single season, just apply by yourself. So, and then you'll hear from me, Jessica, first person voted out. You'll hear from me. So.
Well, I mean, something that you've been touching on is, so you played, you came back to play season 6. And since it was done over Facebook Live, it's kind of, because you can kind of talk about your experience that you had in season 3, but kind of put it in the context of playing again. So what was different about playing with people that you like already knew, people that voted you out, or people that, like from other seasons?
Everything was different. And not just, so it was PTSD all over again, because we came back to the same location. So I'm like, okay, I got to do better than I did. If I wasn't first voted out, I already won in my book, because I already did better than I did last time. And so I had 5 goals coming into the game. 1, don't be first voted out. 2, don't get tribe swapped. Fucked. Excuse my language. 3, make merge. 4, make jury. And 5 was win. And so those are my 5 goals coming into the game. And I knew I don't know if anyone was watching Facebook Live, but when we won the first challenge, I cried. I literally bawled, and I knew I wasn't going to be the first vote out, and that was literally the most glorious moment of my life. And I just looked at Julian and Parker and all those people who voted me out, and I said, I finally did it. And I said, I'm not going home first. And Stan gave me the biggest hug and said, see, I told you. You wouldn't go home first. So after that, it was fine. And then it was different in the fact that I knew everyone knew how to play, and everyone was coming to play. And so I said, well, if you guys are coming to play, I'm going to play 10 times harder. So I just worked my way. Didn't have to go to tribal for the first like 4 or 5 rounds because our team was so awesome. And then I just kept getting on winning teams. And then there came a point where it was the bros against our team, which was people like me and Maria and Taylor St. Louis and Bobby and like people that were like, I guess, considered the underdogs. And so we beat those guys 3 rounds in a row. And that moment was the second most glorifying moments for me, besides not getting voted out first. And then it just came down to the individual game, and I think that's where I knew I had to either play or be played. And so I think it was, I knew if I could get past the first vote of the merge, I was going to be fine. I wasn't sure at that point if I would win, but I knew I would make it pretty damn far if I made it past the first. And I almost got sent home the first round after the merge. But I ended up in 6th place because I trusted somebody who I shouldn't have trusted. But they promised me if I voted a certain way the round prior that they would save me, and look where I was. I got voted out in 6th. So if I could go back and change one thing, it would be to vote the opposite way and make a deal with somebody. But I mean, at that point, I knew we were supposed to vote a certain way going into the final 6 tribal, and something shifted, and I could just tell. And it shifted at tribal, and so I knew there was nothing I could do to help save myself. But yeah, I got voted out in 6th place, and so yeah, I did pretty damn good. So
Stan on the chat says you should have stuck with the bros.
Who said that?
Stan.
God dang it, Stan. No, I should not have stuck with the bros, Stan. I can't see the chat. Why can I not see the chat?
I'm on the YouTube page. I just have it paused so I can see the chat. Yeah, and Parker has a fun question. He said,
okay.
Who was the best mafia player on Aquila? The world needs to know.
The world needs to know. The best mafia player was not me because I had always died first. I'm just gonna go with Parker because I think that's what he wants to hear. So, I mean, we're all good mafia players. I think that was the most fun part about my like one day on Aquila was the mafia that we played, waiting for that challenge. So
yeah, would you say that was the most memorable part of your experience on season 3?
It was making the shitty rice, staying up without my sweatshirt, being smushed between Julian and Brad snoring, waking up at 5:45 a.m. to go check tree mail, even though it wasn't going to be there, playing Mafia, and then just the challenge itself and the strategy afterwards. That was my day in the life of Jessica.
Yeah, I mean, so you're describing all these things like making rice, the crappy rice, and just like waking up at like 5 a.m. Like, how real is this? Like, tell people again, just to like get people like to play.
And it's when I tell you it's shitty rice, I mean, it just depends who you have making rice. Shout out to Stan for making really good rice. It's making rice from scratch, and you don't have measuring cups, so you don't know how much rice you're putting in, how much water you're putting in, and you have to cook it over this fire that you made yourself, and then you have to portion out enough for however many people you have, and then you have to save enough for however many days. You don't know when you're going to get more. So
yeah, in the episode, Tania was like, there's a scene where she was telling, like, she felt like you were giving Rice more, paying more attention to Ryan and Brad, and that's why this whole conflict
Oh,
came.
it's
And
like I don't know what you want me to do. Then bitch, you should do it yourself. Like, I mean, what do you want me to do? I'm just trying to be helpful. I already know I'm going to be going home, so I mean, if you wanted to, make sure you have more rice, then come get it yourself. I know for me personally, I don't like the rice, and so I'm going to eat a little bit and then give the rest to the men because they need it more than I mean, in my opinion, the men need it more than anyone. But so that and then so once you have all that and then you sleep on the cold and I don't know what I was thinking. I thought I had my sweatshirt with me and I definitely did not. I thought I brought it in. I was freezing. And so of course I had to snuggle with Brad and thank God he's like his shoulders are wide so when he like laid on his side I could just like snuggle up behind his back so the mosquitoes would fly over him and just like miss me. But then I don't know what I was thinking sitting between, it was like Brad, then me, and then Julian right here. And those two are the loudest snorers I've ever heard in my entire life. It was miserable, but it like, I don't know how, I'm not glad I was voted out first, but I honestly don't know how many more nights of that I could have taken. I probably would have had to like move over by Brett or something. He was on the complete other side. But it just the sleeping arrangements are so real. You're sleeping literally on a tarp, on the ground in the middle of nowhere, with only just like a sweatshirt and long sleeve shirt and pants. And then the starvation is real if you don't get enough rice. Like in season 6 on Monday, I threw up because I was so hungry. It was bad. It was a bad situation. But yeah,
uh,
so
yeah, what's something you wish that was shown that wasn't from the first episode, just from scenes that you remember, something that like, oh, I wish they would have shown me doing this, or
mm, I'm trying to think
because
because
there's a lot of footage that gets left behind that I can't
oh, I
include in the
know.
episode. So,
Um,
and
I wish I don't remember if like mafia was shown or like us having fun at camp. I don't remember if that was shown. Um, just like stuff like that, just like show people that it's like not all serious all the time, and a lot of like team bonding and like conversations happening here and there. And Brett burning the clue to the idol twice. I don't know if that's ever shown. Um,
wait, yeah. So let's talk about the idol. So I remember distinctly you were looking for it everywhere. I think
except
secretly in production we were hoping you would find it.
I know. Mm-hmm.
So like
I wish y'all would have
you
given
could
me a
not
clue or
find
something.
it anywhere.
No, I'm just kidding. I was looking for the idol everywhere but where the idol was. And so I don't know why to me I'm like, oh, okay, maybe it's on this trail, like where down to our like camp. Maybe it's by our water source. Maybe it's by our tree mail, which is like so our water and tree mail were like, I don't know how to do it half a mile. The water was at least a half mile from our camp, and the tree mail was maybe like 100 yards. But for some reason, I don't know why I was like, oh, let's just go look here. It's not going to be at camp. It's not going to be anywhere near camp. So I guess it was. I'm not exactly sure where it was hidden, but I know afterwards where it was hidden. But
I think there was one point where I think you were walking near it. I think I was with Maria and we were like hoping you would like go and like get it. We were
yes,
like we couldn't even point to it. We wanted to point to it. We couldn't.
it's right there. It's right there. No, but I don't. It's like even if I would have found it, I would have just like I wonder what would have happened if any Aquilas are on this tribal, any of Aquilas are on this call right now. If you guys would have seen me pick up that idol, what would you have done? If anyone can answer that question for me, that'd be great. Because what would the vote have been? Because I really want to know. Um, so I wouldn't have cared if anyone seen me get the idol.
Yeah, would you have shown it?
Oh, I would have been like, here, try to vote me out now, please. Thank you. Or I don't know if I would have done that because it just depends if somebody would have like seen me do it. Like if somebody would have seen me, then I mean, sure. But had like I gotten it in secret, I probably like would have not told anybody and just pulled it out. And then I wouldn't have voted for Shane then. I would have probably voted for like someone like Brad or Julian or somebody. and just gotten them out right then and there. But it just depends if somebody would have seen me or not. So yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, so another person that was kind of a target
Mhm.
aside from you was Ryan. Um,
See, I had no idea. I had no idea. If somebody would have
there was-
told me, I would have jumped on the train because I'm like anyone but me at that point. I had no idea. So yeah, that was
yeah,
news.
and I think then people decided to not split the votes
Hmm.
just to keep it
Unanimous. Yeah.
unified.
Yeah.
And then they were just gonna like let if you did happen to find it, they were just gonna let you vote whomever it was. Because I
And
think
that's
everyone
stupid.
thought it wasn't gonna be them.
Stupid. Like I don't like. I don't know. Those Aquila boys, they were something else. But I wouldn't have had it any other way. I mean, obviously I wouldn't have been first out, but um and after the fact I found out I was supposed to originally be on green I found out after the fact, but somebody canceled at last minute and something got switched, so they had to switch me around with somebody. And I talked with the green people and they said I still would probably would vote out first. So I mean it doesn't matter. So but
Oh, those green people. Yeah. So I mean, you got voted out, and did you have like any hard feelings? Like I know, I mean, you stayed in as kind of like part of production, helped
mhm.
us like finish out the
um
game. But like, how was that being there, but kind of not being there because you couldn't really talk to anyone in the game,
yeah.
but they
And
could
so
still see you.
and so that was it was weird but not weird because like that was my first game and so I didn't know how I was supposed to feel or how I was supposed to react or what I was supposed to do. um but like afterwards I had like this big meltdown. It was awful. I'm pretty sure you got it on camera. um and I just feel like at that moment I had let season 2 people down, and I think that was like my like inner self. Like I let people from season 2 who were cheering me on so hard down, like Michael O'Rear and Jeremy and Maria. And I feel like I let Amos down, and so that to me was worse than getting voted out, was letting those people down. So it's being on the production and helping out, that kind of helped lift my spirits a little bit, and so it didn't, what was literally the worst thing that could have happened didn't, after a couple of days, didn't seem so bad. So yeah, it is what
Okay.
it is.
Yeah. No, I think this has been like a really good chat. I don't know if you have any other words you want to share with anyone, or any questions you have for me or for anyone who's watching.
Has anyone answered about the Aquila question? How do I see this? How do I see this? YouTube?
No. So if you go to the link that I have on the chat, the one that says YouTube on it, it'll take you to the live YouTube
Oh, there it
page
is.
of our hangout.
Okay. I'm gonna get Parker's last question.
Oh, what's better, yoga or Ryoga? Were you there for yoga?
Oh yeah, yeah, I was. Definitely Ryoga. Wait. I think have Joe Englam had been teaching, definitely yoga. Sorry, Ryan. Um, yeah. Um, I just want to say thank you guys for having me play Reelfoot. It was by far the most humbling experience, and it taught me Reelfoot not only is a great experience, but it teaches you a lot about yourself that you didn't know, and I'm still learning about myself even after I play these games. Stan, shout out if you're still watching. I don't know if you are, but he taught me something that I still do that I did in season 6 that I didn't know I did, I guess. And just things from season 3 that how people perceive me is still a big learning curve. Obviously, I changed my hair. I toned down the red hair. And I'm still loud and boisterous, as you can
The
tell.
girl's not on fire anymore.
Girl's not on fire. Someone put her out. But it's just learning so much about yourself and what you're truly capable of. So I'm trying to think. I don't really have any questions. I don't think. Not that I'm aware of. I don't know.
Just everyone should apply.
Yeah, I mean,
Play the next
please, we're
season.
accepting. Please, we need pairs. We need pairs. That's what we're really striving
Are
for.
there any specific pairs that you're looking? Are there any girl pairs that
There
have
is no
applied at
girl
all? Because that
pairs right
seems like that would be hard.
now. Yeah, I think we're striving for um, like we really wanted blood relatives or like husband wives, brother sister, cousins. But and then we were thinking like you could also do best friends, but you have to be real life friends, not like online friends. Um, and so those are the kinds of relationship like where mother
Yeah, so
son.
people should apply, like with your cousin or
Yes,
with, like
parent child. If anyone
parent.
has ever wanted to play with their parent to like watch their parents play Survivor, this is like the perfect opportunity for you to
I
like
mean, season one had a blood
exactly
versus water pair with Evan and Darren.
need that in our lives. I think it's June 1st to the 8th, and then the second one is the 13th through the 20th of July. So please apply.
Who would be your pair if you played?
Oh, it would be weird. Okay, so I've always wanted to play Survivor with my mom. Shout out to my mom, Amy, if you're watching. But my mom she doesn't hate Survivor, but she hates Survivor, if that makes sense. She likes watching Survivor, but she would play if she got to go to a hotel every night and then come back. She doesn't like the survival part, but I think she would do really well at playing Survivor. But I think if I had to do a blood versus water season, I would probably, if I couldn't play with Craig, I'd probably play with my brother, simply because he's just like me, and the food thing would be hard for him though, because huh? Craig says he ain't playing with me. Why you ain't playing with me? Oh, he says we're too big of targets to to play, whatever that means. But my brother came to help with season 6, and he got to experience what it's like firsthand to starve, and I don't think he could handle it. So,
Ooh, that sounds like a challenge.
yeah. Shout out to Dylan. I know you're not watching, but shout out to him. Man.
All right, I think I've gone through a lot of questions, and I feel like we've gone through a lot of the episodes. Also,
So,
some bit of
oh,
season
also one
6.
thing I wanted to point out that's not on the episode, I don't think. Right before I left, I think Brett said something to me about, well, you want to know who was throwing my name under the bus. And I'm pretty sure he whispered Julian to me. And then like, I know Brett and Julian got into a little altercation right before we left about like who actually was in charge of, like being my demise basically. So that was a little interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But it was so awkward. As soon as we lost, we came back and we just sat on the log and no one talked to each other. It's like, well, what are we gonna do? Because this is kind of awkward for me, because I was like, well, I obviously already know that it's gonna be me. So yeah, but yeah, that was definitely an experience that I have not experienced ever again. Of the games that I've played, I have never been first boot at. So again, so that's good. I've learned from my mistakes, people. I've learned. So yeah.
All right, so I guess this will be a good time to kind of sign off.
Yes.
Everyone, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for joining me and my my pity party. Pity party. Sorry about that.
Yes, and episode 2 will be posted this Thanksgiving weekend.
Ooh, I'm excited.
Please, everyone watch.
Yes, please watch.
Yeah, I'll probably post Saturday or Sunday. I'm gonna see
Okay.
how fast I can kind of get it done.
Cool.
Big holiday.
I'm excited. So excited. I can't wait to watch it. It's gonna be so interesting because like I don't know what happened during the game. I only know like bits and pieces of what other people have told me. So it should be really interesting. So
Oh, it's gonna be fun. Let me tell you. Yeah.
And but the first thing, I guess, a good thing about being first voted out is you're on every previously on and until the merge. So there's that.
Yeah, you're definitely on the recap.
Yes. Awesome. Can't wait.
All right, cool. So,
Jorge.
yeah, let's gonna sign off, everyone,
Okay.
for watching, and I hope you
Bye.
so too.
Make sure you watch episode 2.
Yes. All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye.